Hello, everybody.
We are Knitistry Nerds.
This is episode 6.
We can hold up two hands.
We can hold 2 hands now. This is episode 6. Thank you for all of our new subscribers and watchers. We really appreciate you. We've had some great comments. We've heard back from you guys. Keep them coming. Tell us what you think. We have a new microphone, so that should... He's a big sucker.
It's a professional one, so we went all out and bought a used one.
Don't ask us professional what, but we're trying to improve our sound, so because that's been one of the things y'all have commented on, so we're trying to work on that.
It's been weird, like on my devices, like my phone and my iPad, I can hear it really well. I've never had an issue, but as soon as I pulled it up on my laptop, it was so quiet.
Yeah, it is on my phone too when I pull it up on my phone.
So we've kind of missed some issues there. So hopefully the new microphone will take care of those.
That's right.
Because
you don't want us to get louder, which we can.
We can. This is Michelle, by the way.
Oh, sorry. I'm Michelle. She's Caytee.
I'm Caytee. And we are excited to be here.
Yes, we really are.
So it was over the course of maybe 3 days. How many times did we text each other?
Unbelievable number.
It was, oh my gosh, we have 82 subscribers, or we now have 91. Guys, it's...
We've been geeking out so bad. So excited, so excited.
We just checked like 136 subscribers.
I know.
Our latest video before this one, number 5, has almost 900 views. Guys, we feel so loved.
Thank you. We really appreciate it.
Really, really appreciate it.
We found out this morning that our principal has even watched a little bit before... It got too much like a faculty meeting, and he couldn't watch it anymore.
Couldn't keep up with the knitting and
our department
talk.
Meeting. That's what he said anyway.
Yeah. So
it's
thankfully
thank you.
We haven't said anything bad about him.
No, we had to stop and think for a minute.
We did. We kind of went through the list of
I know. We were nice. We were nice.
We were very nice. So
we feel positive about that.
We have our mascots.
Our mascots are with us.
Earl the Erlenmeyer.
And Rhonda the Round Bottom.
We still need to get a shelf.
We do. We need a
shelf.
They can
watch over us.
We are so temporary. You should see us setting this thing up. We're going to figure this out, though. We're going to get it all together. Oh, and
I forgot about the Rhonda
and Earl on our ears. Oh gosh. And copper and silver. Oh, we even put them in the same ears,
didn't we? And little hearts.
It was little hearts on. Okay, I'll take one.
There you go. I always have to put backs on mine because they'll fall out.
Yeah, but I don't because that's just who I am. There. Whoops, it's on this side.
Yep. Perfect.
There we go.
Super.
And the round bottom one has a copper heart on it.
No, it's got nothing in it.
Oh, it's got a hole.
It's got a hole. I think this one.
Oh, it does have a hole, doesn't it? Yeah. And then it's on this one in silver.
Yep,
there it goes. There it goes.
So.
I made these, we said 4 years ago? 3 years ago.
3 years.
3 years ago.
I think.
Yeah, 3 summers ago. For us. And so
are these like charms you bought, or did you?
Yeah, I bought the charms at Hobby Lobby or Michael's or somewhere I was, and I was like, "Oh, science charms! Let's buy them all."
They're hard to find sometimes.
They are. They can be. And, I've seen them online, but I actually found them in a store. I don't remember where. I'm bad to accumulate as I go.
I forgot I put this on today. I have. There's a local jeweler, and she makes these wooden charms, and so it's a necklace. It's got a ball of yarn and 2 knitting needles in it. I cannot remember her name, and I will look it up and put it in the show notes. But I bought them at like the Swamp Rabbit grocery. They do an outdoor craft thing in Greenville, South Carolina. Still haven't talked about where we're from in this episode, but
we're from the upstate of South Carolina. We are high school science teachers.
That's the periodic table.
Chemistry primarily is our, and I get to teach it again this year. I'm so excited.
We had it today.
I did. I've been nerding out. We had a chemistry meeting this morning with another chemistry teacher at school, and I'm just so excited because I'm getting to do all the fun stuff again. And
she was remembering all the things, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I get to teach intermolecular forces again."
I know.
The things we nerd out.
We're nerdy. What can we say? That's why it's on our name.
Yeah.
So we've introduced ourselves haphazardly, but we did it.
High school science
high science teacher schools. I can't word. My words have abandoned me. And so, but we start back next week. Here in our school district. Teachers start back on Tuesday, and the kids will start the following Tuesday.
Now, other counties around us,
some have already started.
They've started this week, like Tuesday this week, and the teachers started the week before that. So I like that we have a little more time. Kind of get to enjoy the sun for an extra 2 weeks essentially. So it's kind of nice. But it's that time of year. Lesson plans, and
tax-free weekend this weekend in South Carolina.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go buy a couple of things.
I want to get a desk chair. Yeah. That's my new goal I want to get a desk chair. Okay, so where do we start?
So, speaking of teachers and going back to school.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if you guys have seen the trend online that teachers post their Amazon wish lists with a hashtag clear the list. Now, I don't want you to go find ours and buy our things.
I don't have one.
I think
she does, I don't.
I mean, we don't get paid enough to buy all the supplies we need in a school year. And I know that's, we chose this profession and I do understand that. But I can't do the labs that I do without help from the outside. I send out parent emails. I'm like, hey, I need M&Ms because I can't afford to buy M&Ms for 6 classes worth of kids. So I implore you to go out and find teachers in your community that need some help clearing their lists. And if it's just, or just, reaching out to tell them that you support them and you're there for them, because not everybody can buy something, but just let your teachers know that you appreciate what they do, because we hear it, but it's few and far between the times we hear it. So reach out to them, and again, in your community. Don't reach out for us. We will take care of ourselves in this community. We have parents who are very generous at our school, so we always.
And we help each other out a lot.
We do.
Like, I use shoe boxes like nobody's business for my forensics class. We make miniature crime scenes every year.
So cute. We'll bring some in when she does them. Oh, you guys.
They're really, some of the kids just really get into it. Actually, they all get into it. They really do enjoy this project. They look forward to it. But I have to have shoe boxes. So I send out the word every year that bring me your shoe boxes. And I have oodles donated by parents and teachers, other teachers, and
everything.
Everybody brings in shoe boxes and leaves them at my door, throws them in the room. They're all over the place.
We have a good teacher community, because if I reach out and say, hey, I need a hot glue stick, somebody's going to
we've all got it covered.
We are very good about sharing with each other. And I know some teachers don't have that community, and that makes me sad, because
we do, though. We have really good faculty.
We do. So, but reach out to your community teachers,
your local teachers, your locals.
See how you can help them, because we appreciate every little bit.
Yeah, and it's hard this time of year.
Oh yeah,
it's hard.
That's a lot to deal with. Yeah. So. All right, so we're going to talk about we have no
FOs.
So this is a couple weeks now. I've still been doing AP chemistry stuff, planning for that. I'm actually going to flip the classroom, and I'm going to make videos, and they watch at home, and then we're going to do lots of practice in the classroom.
That works. Because it's a good way to do it.
And they're taking that test. The test is what's going to give them the grade for college, so I feel like we should practice those types of questions, because I think it'll be important for them to see.
In chemistry and like physics, it's all about how you read the problem, how you approach it, and interpret it, and then it's the math. Right. And that that's the part you have to handhold through. You've got to shepherd them through that part.
And the wording,
learning the concepts and all that kind of stuff, reading about it. They can do that on their time, but they need to do the practice with you.
You'll see the questions where it's like, explain this or justify this, and it kind of sounds like it's the same thing.
It's not.
But it's not this. So I feel like I really need to implement those ideals into my kids in the classroom, so that they have me by them and I can help them through the problems. Because if they're doing them at home, I'm not going to answer an email.
No, well, you don't want them to learn how to do it wrong.
Right. So
because then you've got to unlearn,
and then
you have to get them to unlearn what they've done before you can reteach the correct way. So you want, and the practice of chemistry is that's the most important part.
Right.
Is the practice of the problems. That's where they get it, and that's where you do all the work.
And the more you do, the better you get at it. So
that's right.
That's what I'm going to do. So I've been doing a lot of AP chemistry stuff this week.
That works real well.
Haven't knit much. I've done a little, but we'll talk about some whips. Got no FOs, but we're going to pull out some whips, and I have no new ones.
I'm real close to having some FOs.
Yeah.
I mean, real close.
You have been.
Well, I went on my 10-day Maine trip that I talked about in the last episode. My husband and I lived here and drove. We took 3 days to drive up to Maine. We spent 4 days in Maine, and we took 3 days to work our way back. Hit Cooperstown in the Baseball Hall of Fame. I took so many pictures of Astro things. It's not even funny. But
if you want to see them, let us know. We'll put them on the Instagram.
Yeah, we can always put them on Instagram. But it was fun. It was gorgeous weather. I mean, it was a lot of fun. We had a ball. But I did a lot of knitting when my husband was driving. Then I was knitting.
Yep.
As long as it wasn't too mountainous and curvy of a road, but the rest of the time I was knitting. So I did get a lot done.
I did a little.
I just didn't finish anything.
We drove, or my father-in-law drove us. We went to Williamsburg, Virginia. So I got a little bit done in the car.
Yeah.
Not as much as I would want to, because driving is. Yeah. I was sitting in the back seat too, and that could get a little
Yeah, I'd have been dead.
So I knit some, but not as much
seat.
as I wanted to. But so let's show some whips we got going on.
All right, you go first.
Okay, I'll start with, I showed this on episode 1.
Yeah, you had just started it.
I had parts of it done. I'm in the middle of a row right now.
Of course you are.
But so this is on the Spice Market. Do you remember who does this pattern? Because I don't. I should have looked it up.
I can picture it in my head.
Super. I see this pattern a lot. So
I
you
can look
see,
it up real quick while you
talk
about it.
Yep. I got the 5 or 6 color stripes, and then you start doing these fun little bobbles. Oh, I'm going to hit that thing one more time.
Go for it.
And you change the color. So I've got, this is my second to last color. So I've got this and one more color to do before I get to the ending section of stripes. So I'm super excited about that one. It's been
Melanie Berg.
Melanie Berg, there it is. So on the Spice Market by Melanie Berg. There's tons of versions out there.
Oops, there we go. On the Spice Market, Melanie Berg.
And it's a good,
it's a beautiful shawl.
I've enjoyed it.
It's a good mini skein project.
It is. And
like them mini skein projects.
So the things I've learned, if you want to knit this section with all the cute little bobbles,
dots.
You knit 3, slip 1, and get to the other side. And then on the other side, when you're coming back on the wrong side, you knit 3 together, yarn over, knit 3 together. The thing I've learned, I like that dark background.
I know, that's what I was going to say.
Here's
one, instead of the light background, it has the dark. God.
I'll put the picture so you guys can see it really well. That's a good one.
I like that. I like that a lot.
It's really winterish for us, too.
Yes.
Like, gives you that kind of dark.
Oh, that'd be pretty in the fall colors.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry. We digress.
Brainstorm.
For the bobbles, I knit the 3 on the right side very, very loosely. Like I really do change my tension to make sure that they're easier to knit. So if you're going to knit this, that is my one suggestion. But other than that, it's a really cute pattern. Again, you got some minis lying around. You got some colors that you just want to put together. Get a solid background and some speckles in there, or do a speckle background.
So pretty.
And it's a great pattern. And you could do more than 6 colors if you wanted to.
Oh yeah, you could just and change the length of the stripes and width of the stripes and the color changes.
Scrolling through.
I'm scrolling through all these. These are so pretty.
Hundreds. Oh, there's a rainbow one. Like guys,
there's over 3,000.
Go check them out. Find a color scheme you like. I am enjoying this one. So
there are 3,200,
almost
3,300 projects on Ravelry of that shawl.
And of course, you guys know you can go onto Instagram and do hashtag.
Oh yeah, hashtag on the Spice Market, and you'll see probably all the same ones.
Yeah,
and then some,
which is nice. Yeah. So that's been
that's really pretty.
That's my kind of chill out knitting. It does take a little bit of thought process, but I've enjoyed that one.
Yeah, it's written for 6 different mini colors.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and then one background color.
And then one background color. But if you don't, and if you don't have enough of your scrap or your leftovers, or your minis are 92 yards, and some of these are calling for 120 yards of that particular color, do 8 colors.
Yeah.
Just change them more frequently than what the pattern calls for. And this would be a good way to use up scraps. And
a very versatile pattern. Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, I got ideas.
We're gonna go to Shell World after this. I can already see it.
We're gonna go to Shell, aka my craft room.
I guess we haven't really explained that, have we?
We've done it before, but we can do it again. Okay, so when we talk about going to Shell World, my house plant, it's built to be a home. It was designed to be a home office. It's off the front hall and has double doors that open into it. And it's a small little space, but it has 2 windows. It's on the front of the house, and so it's got good light, not in direct sunlight. That's my craft room. I have half of my craft stuff. It's got all the yarn and my planner stuff and my work stuff and all that kind of stuff. That's my hangout room. And my family calls it Shell World because I'm Michele, and I was called Shell all the time growing up. But it sounds like a kitschy seaside souvenir stand.
That's the first thing I thought when you told me about
I think they should be a big conch shell sitting on top of it. Or a big clam shell or something.
Hermit crabs in the corner.
Yeah.
No, it's nothing. If you want to go see some pictures, check out Instagram. You actually posted.
I did post one shot of
about her yarn storage.
Part of my yarn storage on. Yeah, I use cubbies and shelves and dividers, and it falls off on a regular basis. And it's fun.
Everybody, yeah. So what's your whip? Because we've got.
This is the one that's.
Where's this row?
Okay. This is the Wooden Bead bag. This is the one that I had started before. Woolen Pines.
Woolen Pines.
Woolen Pines is the would be bag where you knit the bag and then you go back and weave the multiple colors in it. I've knit the bag. It's all done. The bag part is done.
Nice. Ooh, looks good.
Yeah.
Show them your bottom there. It looks really nice.
It's 3 needle bind off.
Yeah, it looks good though. Oh, look at that, guys. It's got a nice little crease to it. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it worked out real, the corners when I turned it and everything. But I love the way that turned out. It looks so much like leather.
It does. It's a good color,
yeah,
too.
So now, fun part, I got to go through my stash and figure out what colors I'm going to stripe on it. Definitely going to be a turquoise in there. Definitely going to be a turquoise. Probably a bright blue.
Oh, yeah.
A yellow, a gold color,
something
golden
color. Like my shirt or my dress here.
Yeah, but I was thinking more.
You got one?
Aqua turquoise.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have anything.
I don't have any
over here. But that's the kind of thing I'm thinking about. So, Southwest type colors. So anyway, I have to do that, and then I have to do the straps. I am not interested in doing basically 400 inches of I-cord. I'm really not. So I think I'm going to go to the fabric store and I'm going to find a type of cord that I want to use on it for the drawstring part. And then it's got it's like the bags every kid on earth has got, with a drawstring bag, and then it looks like a backpack. Mm-hmm. All the athletes use them for their practice clothes, and
great versatile little bag.
There's a million of them in my house, but after having 3 kids that go through the school system, I have tons of them. But I'm knitting one. Anyway.
But it's yours.
It's mine, and it's going to be my colors. Anyway, it's going to be a knitted bag to carry knitting. So the knitting part is done. All I have to do is the weaving and figure out the cording.
So almost an FO.
Almost an FO. So that one's done.
Let's
drop it on the ground over there. We're running out of table space. We have run out of table space, and it's piled on the sides.
Yeah. I got my garter abyss. So we've kind of started, it's not really a knit along, but it's been an impromptu knit along. We had a new subscriber who liked our garter abyss in our episodes, and she's actually started hers.
Her own too.
So it's not an official knit along, but we really would love to see your garter abyss whips, FOs, all of it. Tag us in a photo, show us. I got a little bit done. This is the one I worked on a little bit up to Virginia.
I haven't dyed the color you need.
I know. So last time we were going to dye yarn, I forgot the most basic essential for dyeing yarn. You have to have an acid for acid dyes, and I left the acid at home.
And I didn't have anything to substitute.
No, we could have tried vinegar, but then we'd have to go buy vinegar, and it was just no. So, and then as soon as I got home, I pulled out the acid, or a citric acid. I have a 10-gallon bucket of citric acid, and I asked my husband Zach to put it in the back of my car. He did. He took it out yesterday or the day before, and I completely forgot to put it back in my car. So we're still not going to be dyeing yarn today. So I don't really need to get too much further in garter abyss than going at the slow pace I'm going, because I don't have my third color. But again, if you haven't started this one,
it's so much fun.
Find a fade.
It's so much fun.
Find one color. It is a good, if I was going to go
Somebody posted one on Instagram this week. I finished one. It was gorgeous colors.
There's just so many.
So
Stephen West is so popular that you can find almost all his patterns in 1,000 different combinations of colors.
Oh yeah.
So, and I do love that, because sometimes I'm very visual, so I need to see the color. But I
bet it's this one. I'm looking up at hashtags so I can see if I find. There it is. Look at that. Spun right round. Who dyes yarn, and gorgeous yarn. I love her colors.
Beautiful.
Look at those colors. Isn't that pretty? And she talks about what colors she's used. And she has a few kits. She just posted this yesterday, 18 hours ago. Yeah. So if you go to Spun Right Round, do a Google search, she may still have some kits left of the colors that she used. But it's just beautiful.
She also said the colors will be available individually on the
or
update.
When she updates, which is this weekend,
Sunday.
On Sunday. So I just love those colors.
It's a beautiful color.
I'm going to show it again because I fell in love with it. That's just so pretty.
She did a great job.
Yeah, that's beautiful color combos. But that's That's Katie's garter abyss.
I'm going to show Michelle's now.
Now, this was my primary, once I finished the Wooden Bead bag, this is what I worked on in the car, up to Maine and across the New England and back down.
Did you finish with color 1?
Yeah.
Ooh.
And I finished the fade between the two. And of course I'm in the middle of a row.
Look at that. We all stop in the middle of a row.
Well, it's usually because somebody goes, Mom! And I put it down. So
What was we were trivia last night, and I had gotten through part of almost the whole row. But
okay.
Look at her fade, guys.
There's color 1 is the speckle. And then color 2, I can't remember the name of the speckle. I don't remember. It was in an earlier episode and I talked about it. It's all Emma's yarns.
All Emma's yarns.
All Emma's yarns I got from Four Pearls.
They all had kind of jean jacket and...
Yeah, I picked all jean color. I mean, this one's called Mom Jeans. Mm-hmm, yep. I mean, that's the name of this color. And then another one later is Bell Bottoms, and then the last color, the darkest, is called Denim. So I went all denim-y colors, but you can see.
Beautiful
so
colors.
you fade from one color to the next in between each of the 5 colors. So I'm just on the second color, but one row... I mean, I don't know if y'all...
It's all scrunched together.
I quit counting. I was counting for a while. Yeah, I quit counting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have no clue. It's hundreds and hundreds of stitches at this point.
How many times have you repeated now?
I'm on... Where's my markers? Here they are. Okay, that's...
We're going to find out.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm on my 6th repeat.
So you're on your 6th. At the end of 5, you're supposed to have 459.
Yeah.
So she's over 459 stitches. Yeah. By the end, on your 10th repeat, you have a little bit over 1,000 stitches. So, but it's a fun, easy knit.
It really is. It's easy to, and I know we've said that before, but it really is like this. Okay, next week we're gonna have meetings all day long for a couple of days.
2 days where we are in giant meetings with everybody
for the whole district.
The district, yeah. So
this is going with.
It'll be very simple to not look at it and knit, or like just it doesn't take a lot of brain power to knit this one.
No, but it's comforting.
Yeah, and our meetings like they're important, but like the opening meeting, it's a lot of politics
and introductions and all that kind of stuff.
They talk about our new teachers coming into the district, and they talk about it's not bad. It's just it's kind of repetitive year after year and long. So gives us something to kind of keep our minds and our hands busy, so we don't start.
I'll be honest with. I mean, we've already talked. I'm ADD, absolutely. And if I'm knitting, I'm paying attention.
Right.
But if I'm not knitting, I'm not paying attention. I'm either on my phone, or I've gone off into la la land, or I've fallen asleep. I mean, I'm not paying attention to what's going on around me unless I'm knitting or taking lots and lots and lots of notes.
I'd probably be sitting there planning for classes if I'm not doing this, and we do need to focus during these meetings, so that'll help us.
Yeah, we should be listening.
So those are our garter abyss. I've got one more. All right, I made the.
I have two more whips.
2 more. All right, I got one. I made the worst newbie mistake in the entire book. When you go on a trip, what do you bring in your knitting? All the yarn you think you might need and you might not need. And I didn't bring the yarn I thought I was. So we talked about this in a couple of episodes. This is is it Sanguine?
Yes.
Yes, my Sanguine by always
Mort Thunder.
Mort Thunder. And I've been knitting on it for a while, and I was at the end of my main color, it's the dark gray, and I got to the, let's see, where is it? Dark gray, here. I got to the literal end, and I hadn't grabbed another gray ball to take with me. So
ouch.
I was on a roll and just going and going and going.
Now look, turquoise and rust.
Yeah.
Those 2 colors together.
They do go together.
They do go together. Her husband doesn't like
those 2 together. He doesn't think they look good together.
But look how good they look.
Look.
That's just gorgeous.
It's a great contrast. It's
I love that.
Complementary contrast, whatever you want to call it. It looks good.
It does look good.
But, so I made, knitters don't make the newbie mistake. You take extra yarn.
Take extra yarn. Take more than you need. Like I did to Maine.
Yeah.
Take more than you need.
I had my garter abyss, and I had...
Spice Market? Did you take it with you?
I think, I did. Yeah. I did quite a few rows on that. So.
That's good.
But don't make that mistake.
Go on. Okay.
All right, your next one.
This one didn't go to Maine. I left it here. I finished Vertices Unite.
You finished it?
I finished the body. We're on the
I-cord bind.
No, I-cord trim.
Oh.
I-cord border. all the way around this sucker.
All right, if you don't know already, Stephen West is notorious I-cord on all of his shawls. It's all over everything. So,
oh yeah, it always is, and I knew that going into it.
Yeah. So if you're not an I-cord kind of person, just be aware that
right.
Almost every shawl that I've seen has some kind of I-cord.
Everyone I've done of his, even the old ones, Boneyard and
I don't think Garter Abyss does.
Way back, I don't know.
I'll look while you talk.
I haven't got that far. Anyway, Vertices Unite by Stephen West. I've talked about it a bunch of times because I've been working on it. So it's got all these different yarn combinations and
those colors.
It all worked together.
It did,
I'm real pleased with how it actually.
So
can you see all the different sections if we hold it out like that?
Get that bottom section there.
Can you see what we're doing? I think you can see.
You can see it.
You can see all the colors.
And
yeah. It turned out, it worked really well together. So then after you finished all the body of the knitting and have bound off, then you have, well, not all the stitches been bound off. Some were held on other needles or cords or whatever. You have to go back and pick up stitches all the way around the edges of it. I had to put a 60-inch cord on my needles in order to make it fit, and it's still bunched up. It's not spread out. And then you start your I-cord bind off. So I started at that point right there, and I have my I-cord bind off.
Looks good.
I've gotten to there. And that yarn that I'm using is the Black Cat Fibers One of a Kind. I don't remember if it had a name or not.
It's got that blues and those purples.
Yeah, it's that.
Beautiful colors.
It just glows. I really love this color. Anyway, it's in one of the stripes section, but it's working out really well for the bind off. So when I get this, I might take this to school.
You have to bind
and do I-cord bind off for hours and days.
For next episode.
Yeah, this is going to be done by next episode. I'm going to have that done.
All right. Garter Abyss. It's an I-cord bind off. We should have known.
He does everything. But I don't mind. I love the way it looks.
Looks really nice.
I don't mind doing an I-cord bind off. I mean, we did. What was Slipstravaganza? Was that one the one? Fantastic. God, we never could say it.
Yeah.
That was well over 1,000 stitches.
Yeah.
And then you had to I-cord bind off, and you're doing 3 stitches for every one. So we're talking over 3,000 stitches just to bind the thing off. But it's gorgeous.
It took me at least an hour and a half to finish.
Oh, it took way more than that.
It must. I don't know.
It took me 3 days. I mean, seriously, it took me 3 days because it's 1,000 stitches you're binding off by working 3 stitches. Yeah. This is one she hasn't seen it.
I haven't seen.
This is Phases.
Oh yeah. We've talked about this one a couple times.
Well, I have to put the yarn together. It's Jennifer Berg. No,
that was.
It's Native Knitter. It's Native Knitter.
We've looked at the pattern a couple times on here.
I pulled it up.
Picked out the yarn. So go back if you want to see that. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
Da, da, da. Okay, I know you can't tell what's what. That's actually the front of the sweater. I need to change needle cable lengths. All right, the only thing is that there's crosses along here.
Oh yeah, and you didn't.
Well, it's in the body color, which is very similar. It's a light green, so you can just see that they're there. Now, on hers and a couple of the others that have been done, it's that way too. When you do the light body, then it doesn't really show, but it gives that green hint. You can tell something's there, and when you get up close, and when it's blocked, maybe you'll be able to see. See, there's a little green cross right there, all the way around. But that gold pop.
Oh, it does.
Hers is black and white pop, and I'm doing gold and cream. But that's really working.
Beautiful. I love look, blue and orange.
Yep, blue and orange. Here we go. I'm wearing it to a Clemson game.
That's purple and orange.
It used to be blue.
Did it really?
Mm-hmm. They went to blue for a long time back in the late 80s, early 90s. They did blue and orange.
Learn something new about sports every day because I don't know enough.
That was before she was old enough to go to college. And then there's the cross section. All right, I'm almost through the second stripe section. The next part is a whole field of little crosses, but the background is going to be this blue, and the crosses will be in that speckle.
Oh, nice.
The light speckle. And then it'll be time for the body, and the body part will be all that light green that the little crosses are in.
I like it.
But It's fun. Oh yeah, it's DK color work. It's fun.
We've talked about it before. We like patterns that change a lot.
Oh, yeah, I'm bored. I get bored so easily.
Unless we're in a meeting. So we always have to have that kind of basic pattern with us.
I can't do this in a meeting.
No.
I can do it. I can do it watching baseball and football. But
if I'm watching a TV show that I want to like pay attention, like I really enjoy CSI. And so there are times where I really need to pay attention or I'm going to miss something that was like vital to the show. So I have to watch what I knit during those kind of TV shows or like Criminal Minds or something.
Oh, well, I've seen them all so many times that
she watches
it's just background noise for me now. we watch them 3 or 4 nights a week. We're watching Criminal Minds because we can. And
yeah.
We love the shows. And so I'm always, I can knit my more complicated stuff then because I know what's happening.
Yeah. Wait a minute. I have to ask. Have you seen Only Murders in the Building yet? Guys.
She knits. I heard that she knits.
And I'm not going to tell you what happens, but she knits. Like, come on.
I know. I need to start.
It is such a good show. So it's Selena Gomez.
I'll try.
Martin Short
and Steve Martin.
And I think all of them are executive producers or on the... It's like twists and turns and murders. And it's a podcast thing. Like... Go watch it, please. You'll love it.
I know I will. But
and she knits. Selena Gomez knits. You don't see her knitting a lot.
I heard that, yeah.
She knits.
On the show, her character on the show does.
Yeah.
So they talk about knitting on the show. I've heard that it was really good, and I just haven't started any new shows.
You'll love it.
Football season starts tonight's. The Hall of Fame game, y'all. I can't wait. I get to see football. Not pre-recorded football that I've already seen, but football.
I get to listen to football because I know my husband's going to be watching it.
Yeah, it's Hall of Fame game, and it's Las Vegas and Jacksonville. Okay, both important for Clemson graduates.
Okay.
Hunter Renfrow is playing for Las Vegas, and Trevor Lawrence is a quarterback for the Jaguars.
Now I know. I'll tell my husband
it's an important Clemson graduate event. But I love Hunter Renfrow. He's my favorite player right now. He's just so good. He's so, and nobody ever is. I think it's because he blows out expectations. Nobody has ever expected him to be.
Oh yeah, he's done
fabulous. Because he's not tall. He's not big. He's not the fastest.
He was a walk-on, right?
He was a walk-on at Clemson and made all the difference in the world for him, and he does for Vegas.
Yeah,
he's immediately been important for Vegas.
That's why we have a dog named Renfrow.
Or Raiders. That's why they have a dog named Renfrow. Yeah. Because it's Renfrow.
It's Renfrow.
Gotta love Hunter.
So, all right, that was all your.
That's all my whips.
All right,
right?
So yes,
I did all 4 whips.
All right, so now we have some good acquisitions. We've been traveling a little.
Yeah.
First, let's talk about our common. Knitter or yarn dyer. We've talked about barnyard knits on this show almost every episode.
I promise every episode.
We do love her yarn, and she had was it a birthday sale or a surprise?
I don't know. She had a sale.
Of course, Michelle texts me, and I'm in the middle of planning for AP Chemistry, and she goes, "Did you see Barnyard Knits is having a sale? How much? 20% off. Here's the code." So, of course, I have not actually ever bought any Barnyard Knits. So
you have now.
I have now. So we've talked about a couple of your colors. You want to show the more buys?
If you've seen our previous, I'd gone on to fill out my, I didn't bring it out, my Lace and Fade Boxy from Hohe that I'm getting ready to start. Mm-hmm. We'll talk about Hohe's starting to knit along.
Mm-hmm.
On the 1st of September. And you can't start it until the 1st of September. So I'm trying to decide if I'm going to start my Frank shawl with all the minis, or if I'm going to, which I haven't picked any of the yarn for yet, or if I'm going to start the Lace and Fade Boxy, or if I'll just start both of them. Who knows? I don't know.
She'll start both of them.
I'll probably start both of them. But anyway, so I was trying to put together yarn for that, so I placed a order from Barnyard, because part of mine is Barnyard. And I ordered, one of the things I ordered was 1 skein of rainbow quartz. I love that color. And so when I saw she had the sale, I just had to get 2 more. So that's what I did. I got 2 more skeins. Okay, my ring just stuck in their yarn. There we go. I know I did too. But see those colors? Oh my God.
They're beautiful.
I decided I didn't want to blend it with something else. I wanted a sweater
in those colors.
In this yarn. Nothing but this yarn. So I have 3 skeins now, so I can make a short sleeved.
Crop top.
Something,
well,
yeah.
It's not cropped on her, but cropped on us.
Yeah, because I'm so short. I'm so freaking short. But I'm going to have, this is, I love this. I love this yarn so much, this color. And her base is, oh,
they're so squishy.
a dream to knit with. I love her base. Yeah. And when I was placing an order anyway, and still playing around with my Ho-He Lace and Fade Boxy. So I got 3 more colors.
I've looked at least 2 of these colors when I bought mine.
Yeah, this is cashmere. Yeah, this is cashmere. This is antique pottery. Look at those colors.
It's got that like greens right and a terracotta
and a burgundy.
color.
Yeah. It's just smacked me good. And this, what was this? Into the Forest.
Look at that.
Into the Forest. And okay, none of the 3 of them ended up working for my fade. The other color still suits me better. But these are gorgeous colors. I could even fade something them together. Mm-hmm. But I could, but they're going to work in something else I'd use.
You could knit a tee and fade the tee if you wanted. Like
I could.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many options.
I mean, I have 3 skeins of olive Miss Babs.
Ooh.
That this.
I bet that would go together.
Or this.
Or that.
Or that.
They all have olive.
Would all be great color work.
Oh, yeah.
Like one of the Knit and Love, is that her name? Jennifer.
We'll Knit Love.
Yeah, We'll Knit Love, and then there's I have this collection of patterns of top-down detail color work on a little sweater, and all of those would work with that olive. That would be so pretty. But anyway, so that's my barnyard acquisition.
I also bought 5 skeins, and I got a fade. So I went through, and I'm not kind of.
I bet you spent 2 hours putting this fade together online.
I did. It got so intense. I don't know if I deleted them. Let me see here. It was before all that. Oh, I deleted them. I had I downloaded the pictures, and then I made
thumbnails
collages,
and plated collages.
And it helped. I'm a visual person, so it really helped me to, like, I know I had antique pottery in my fade at one point that I was looking at.
It would work.
It would.
It would work with your fade.
Oh, yeah. It would go in there. I mean, it would. Yeah.
Okay, y'all can't see that. Sorry.
Hold on. We'll show.
We're going to hold it up in a minute.
And I think Into the Forest was definitely one as well. So,
yeah,
I started with a very white. This is white pumpkin.
So pretty.
Got a nice little orange pumpkinish.
It looks like a pumpkin latte.
Chalet. It's got a little bit of green and blue in it. Yeah.
There's that little orange pop again.
This is just an OOAK.
Yeah, one of a kind.
There's a nice.
Somebody had to explain that to me for the first time I heard it. So
look at that purple in there too.
That's beautiful.
It's beautiful. So then you got this one, and now the last 2, it could go either way. So this is Shipwreck. It gets a little bit more green and darker, but there's good sections of white in there. So I think that's why I want that as the 4th one. And then this is Panther. And see, it gets a little bit darker on this one.
Yeah.
But it also has some sections of white. So I'm not.
But it doesn't go super dark.
No. So what I think I'm going to do
is a nice gentle fade.
Once I cake those up, it'll be easier to tell
better,
which one's got the darker and the lighter. But look at it. It's just
it's beautiful.
It's very subtle, but I like going from the light to the kind of dark. But like
all 3 of my colors would work.
Look. Like you could just
That's Into the Forest.
Into the Forest. Or this is the other one I looked at.
Antique pottery.
Antique pottery. It's
all of it. Yeah.
Yep.
Even
Cashmere's even got the same kind of green. And we didn't plan this. We did not shop together.
We didn't shop together.
We just saw it, didn't we?
Yeah, we started playing around with this before we turned on the camera.
So those are my barnyard ideas. I've been looking at like little summer tees that I could do. I can make 2 or 3 of where I could fade from the top bottom.
Yeah.
Because I like to wear my hand knits, but again, we live in the South and it gets hot. But I want to wear these cute little tees. So I've made a few things, and I think I might make a couple different types of t-shirt sweaters that I can wear a little bit more regularly. Because once you make a sweater here, and it's just
it better be lightweight.
Yeah, and
or you plan to go to the mountains a lot.
We don't do that much.
No, it didn't get that cold in the mountains. I used to live there. It doesn't get that cold.
So that was our online purchase.
That was our barnyard knits acquisition.
And then we got a couple more. I think do you have 2 more or just 1 more? Do you want to talk about? You want to talk about yarn and y'all?
Okay.
So Yarn Y'all is a local yarn store for us. They are in Greenville, South Carolina. Or are they more
no, it's in Greenville. It's up on Pleasantburg. Not that y'all know where that is, but
I've been to one, or I've been to it once. It's not a bad little store. Like it's okay. We don't have a lot of that kind of thing around us, so we don't have very many yarn stores. There's
that
Yarn
we can
and
choose
Y'all.
from.
Lofty Fiber is in Easley. They are more of a weaving store. So they actually their product is the owner's husband, or they own it together, but the husband makes counters and things for looms. That's where they make their big bucks.
It's loom devices.
Loom devices that he's like an engineer. They 3D print them. So they got this industrial 3D printer. It's really nice. And they do have a lot of good yarn. They are actually good about keeping local yarn in if they can.
They do.
But if you go in there, you'll see a lot of the looms, and there's a heavy looming thread presence. So lots of linen type yarn, lots of... Yeah, so not as much knitting, and Yarn and Y'all is kind of again, not a lot to do around here, so it's kind of a smaller.
Yeah, it's more small.
Yeah.
And the Needle Tree is still open.
Oh, I forgot about the Needle Tree.
Jan still has the Needle Tree open.
That's a tiny, cute little cottage. She has a lot of different types of yarns, but very small quantities, it seems. Yeah. So we have to go. But she went to Yarn and Y'all, saw some things.
I went to Yarn and Y'all, and they had this model on display from Mirsol. It's the, what did we say it was called?
Scroll up.
Lin Wrap.
Oh my gosh.
It's the okay, let me pull that down so they can see what it's called. The Lin Wrap by Claudia Worsing. And they had that exact color combination. It's made out of,
this is so
Usun,
cool.
Usun is the yarn. There's
it's Mirsol yarn.
It's Mirsol yarn, Usun. It's cotton with a little bit of polyamide in it.
Can you see?
Okay, your arms are longer.
It's so blurry.
It's a chainette. Construction.
You can kind of see it. It really looks.
It almost looks braided.
Yeah.
It's a chainette kind of construction.
I mean, it's almost like they took a tiny little crochet.
But it's not as heavy weight as a cotton usually is. It's not heavy, and it's so soft, and it knit up so pretty. So I got the yarn to do it. I fell in love with it. So I got the pale gray to be the main color in the shawl. So okay, it closed on me again. I laid it down. I have a new phone. Bear with me. I finally got a new. Okay, she's going to go onto it. I finally got a new phone. I went from a Google 2 to a Google 6.
No ghosting. You can't see her.
There's
apps.
no ghosting. You can't see my apps.
Go back to an old episode when she holds up the phone.
You can see my apps have ghosted into the screen. It's awful. And the kids have been making fun of me forever over it.
The adults make fun of you too.
Well, y'all are my kids. Truly, she's not my daughter. Okay, we just pretend that. She could be. Yeah. But anyway, so there it is. All right, so it's the pale gray, and they did a yellow and a purpley plum as the two stripes. I could make up my mind.
Michele was indecisive
about color. I couldn't make up my mind. So I got the purple because, purple is,
it's her color.
Purple is my color. And then that seafoam green was just, I could not leave it there. But then they also had, it's all tangled up, this charcoal.
Look at that.
So I'm going to figure out a way to incorporate all three colors. So I think what I'm going to do is alternate stripes, these two colors on one end and those two colors on the other end. So there's charcoal on both ends, and then the middle is still just the light gray.
I think that'll look good. It'll give you that dark section on each side. And
I might not even do a stripe of this color, or like I do a skinny stripe of this between two wider stripes of the colors.
Oh yeah.
So these two colors would be the same width, but have a skinny little stripe in between instead of a stripe of the same width. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that would look good too.
So it gives you
the colors
more busy. It's not all the same width.
Yeah, I like it.
So I'm still playing around with those ideas. But this project would be a good knit in meetings, knit in the car kind of stuff, because it's just the edges are garter stitch and it's just back and forth. You increase one side, decrease the other. I mean, it's not a big deal pattern wise. But I got that at the local yarn shop.
Yarn and Y'all.
Yarn and Y'all.
All right, I'm gonna let her gather her, because you got
I'm reaching.
She's going to reach. All right. So we went to Williamsburg, Virginia. You got it? The periodic table.
I got it. Okay. I'm going to sit real still and make sure nothing moves. Okay.
We have had the periodic table fall on us.
Yeah, that was episode 3.
Yeah, go check it out. So
that was our thumbnail, the periodic table falling on us.
I try to pick good ones. Like, I want look at the craziness that happens.
Well, that pretty much is easy to find. That is easy to find. Let me just say.
So we went to Williamsburg, Virginia to. We bought like 3-month passes to Busch Gardens. My husband loves roller coasters. I like some of them. There are some that I will not ride. I've been on one that all it had was like a lap bar and you went upside down. And I can't handle the stress that caused me. So I do not ride any rides that only have a lap bar and you end up going upside down at any point. I won't do it. And there was 2 or 3 of them there that did that. And I was like, I'm not riding it. Can't do it.
Not safe enough.
No. And I'm always super cautious about things like that. I mean, I'm very cautious when I do chemistry too. So
yeah, I'm not. But that's okay. We balance out.
My wonderful husband, we get up there and we don't have much to do. And he goes, is there a yarn store you want to go to? I was like, heck yes, I'm going to a yarn store.
I had to drag mine.
I know. So, and he's been pretty good. He funds a seat and he just plays on his phone. And if you own a yarn store, we've talked about this before.
Have a place for the boys to sit.
For the boys to sit, or the significant other, or the kids. The best store we ever went to together was the Lamb Shop in Denver, Colorado, or is it Boulder? In Colorado.
I think it's in Boulder.
I think it might be.
I think it's in Boulder.
We went to both on the same trip, and we went to quite a few stores. So, but I think you're right. I think it was in Boulder, the Lamb Shop. But they had a bar where you could go get a beer, or if you wanted a glass of wine. And I thought that was a great thing.
That's a good idea.
Because my husband sits there,
yeah.
And if my husband sits there with a beer, I can stay longer and spend more money. So,
yes, that keeps him busy.
Just a thought for you yarn store owners. But, so we went to the yarn store. I found all this stuff I like. It's called the Flying Needle.
In Williamsburg.
In Williamsburg, Virginia. And it's in a little shopping center. There's an antique store there, Food Lion, all kinds of things.
Yeah.
But, so we went into the yarn store. Oh my gosh, guys. Go look at the pictures. Here is the picture of their yarn wall. Look at all this.
Yeah.
I need this in my house right here. But I went through and I bought 3 skeins of yarn. And you'll never guess what the other thing of yarn I bought was. Mini skeins, duh. That's what we do.
It's our love. And I've already pulled it up online because I'm in love with this mini skein set.
So I'm going to start with the mini skein set so you guys can see. We're just going to pull them all up and we're going to hold them. This is the Pheasant Set. So it has got, look at the colors together. It looks so good on screen too.
It just glows. I know I say that all the time, but this really, I'm loving this combo.
So there's 10, and it was actually fairly reasonably priced. Like, yes. It was $65 for the 10 mini skeins. You get 10 of them. It is 75% superwash merino, 25 nylon, 4-ply, 92 yards each. So you could do something really nice with all of this. I got, 920 yards, right?
Yes.
Yes. Thank
920
you.
yards.
I'm not math braining quite yet. But, so I'm excited about that, and I liked these two so much that my husband says they don't go together, but you can tell him he's wrong.
Me saying that about our sanguine. Yeah. Look, here they are.
It goes together like this. So I like this so much that I also, I had to buy full-size skeins.
Big skeins.
Technically, what I plan to do is...
Look at it glow. Look at it.
Oh, look at there's some little speckles in there. Technically, what I did was I bought this actually to go in my Frank shawl for Hohi's knit along because I've got those really white... mini or the 50-gram skeins from Hugh Loco that I want to do in the Frank shawl. So I thought about that, and then I saw this one. So I could do either. There is some blue, and this will be a good pop of contrast. I haven't really decided which one I'm putting in there, but one of these two is going to be in the Frank shawl. And then I saw this one, and I just had to buy it.
That's so pretty.
This is a one of a kind. All of this yarn is dyed in Williamsburg, Virginia. So when I go to yarn stores in different places, I try to buy something that's either local or I can't get online here or local here. So like Madeline Tosh, I don't go to a yarn store out of state to buy Madeline Tosh. There's just no need for it. But this is Robin's Promise Yarn Co. And they don't sell it anymore on the Flying Needle website because she has her own website now. So go check it out.
Yeah, just Google Robin's Promise yarn and it comes right up.
So
because I just did that.
She did some beautiful yarn. That yarn wall is all Robin's Promise yarn. So a ton of it.
Look at the
that
rainbow.
one. Rainbow ones.
Oh my God, that's so pretty.
I did get one more thing, so I'm going to read the card to you. So here's the little card it came on. This is from Knitty Jacks. I'm not sure. I've never heard of Knitty Jacks before.
Me either.
So I don't know. But this is actually, so this use this necklace to hold your stitch markers and more nearby while you knit. The wooden bead is handmade by historic fiber craft from colonial Cyprus.
Ooh.
Old growth logs, which sank during river transport in the 1600s
In 1700s.
and 1700s and have been brought to the surface. So this is actually, to me, I like the fact that this was like a local kind of.
Oh, that is so stinking cool.
Isn't that neat, guys? So that it just they had all kinds of different things, but I like the idea of the necklace that I can just put some stitch markers on there, especially if I'm doing something like Garter Abyss that needs stitch markers. It's a little adjustable,
And it's a piece of wood.
and it's the wood, and it's it's local to Colonial Williamsburg, and
it's so pretty.
it's beautiful. So
That is
I
a
had to
gorgeous
get that.
piece of wood.
So I like those kind of little
I gotta think
historic
about wood.
things. But
That's gorgeous.
When I checked out, and where did it go? She gave me like a couple of these little free stitch markers. They do a yarn crawl, and this past year their yarn crawl theme was mermaids.
Aww.
So if you go on their website, which we looked at
Just
earlier,
did. They have a whole set of
all
bags
kinds of mermaid
and yarn, different color yarns. I mean, everything mermaid themed.
stitch
So
markers.
cute.
So that was
So
their yarn crawl. That's the James River yarn crawl. But
That is
the
so
flying
neat.
needles. Super cute store. So if you're near Williamsburg, go check it out. I didn't get to check out the other store. We didn't really have time, but I wish I had.
These are so pretty.
She's ogling my.
I am. They're so pretty.
Oh, I don't think I told you guys. This is actually. Did I tell them what it was called? The set?
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. This is the pheasant set. So all those colors.
Yeah,
they
our
each
pheasant
has
collection.
Pheasant collection. So you've got like pheasant feathers, pheasant tail feathers, pheasant crown, pheasant ruff. So they're all based on pheasants, which are beautiful.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
birds. I mean, they're just gorgeous little birds.
So pretty.
But she has several sets that are just beautiful. But yeah, check it out. Yeah, there's a pheasant.
Here, this is her inspiration photo for the set, for the collection. Is that pheasant? You can see that it really.
Let's see if we can.
Hold them up at the same time. Okay.
Oh yeah. Look at all
Yeah,
those
you can
colors.
see it totally.
She did a good
Isn't
job.
that pretty?
Oh, there's that necklace
Oh, that's
again.
so pretty. And there went the necklace.
But check it out. I really like her yarn. She's got her website, Robin's Promise, and then the flying needles. But, you went somewhere in Maine, right?
I did. Okay, my husband's not quite so flexible about going into yarn shops.
Last episode, you did say he said no yarn shops.
He did say no yarn shops. So
she got to one.
we went to Camden in Maine one day. It's a beautiful seaport. If you ever get to go there, it's just so gorgeous. And we were waiting to get our table at this Sea Dog, which was a brewery, pub, lunch place. And waiting for our table to open up. And I walked around the corner just looking, and I saw, my brain just quit, Swan Island. The store, Swan Island store, and they carry yarn. I mean, it's a yarn brand, and I have some of their yarn from eons ago. And so I asked him. I said, "It's right there, just after we eat. Can we just walk in there just for a little bit?" And he said, "Yes, we could do that." So after we ate, we walked, which was, by the way, really, really good food. We walked out and he hung out outside. He wasn't coming in, and so I walked in. Well, it turned out they keep their yarn back at their main facility, which was like 9-10 miles away, but their downtown store, they just keep their ready to sale fabric things and bags and stuff, household items and kids clothes and stuff that they
really
make.
much yarn.
There was no yarn.
Oh, no.
There was no yarn. They keep the yarn at their other location. So I was like, oh, okay, well, thank you. And I started out, and she says, well, there's another yarn shop around the corner. Called the Cashmere Goat. And I said, which direction? And she pointed it out, and I'm like, okay.
That was a good cashier, guys.
Yeah. So we walked out, and my husband said, okay. And I explained to him what was going on. He says, okay, it's just right there. I can see it. We'll walk up there. So we walked up there, and they had Adirondack chairs, 4 Adirondack chairs sitting out on the sidewalk in front of the store. And I said, have a seat, baby, right there. I'll be right back. Well, no, he ended up sitting out there for a while, and then he came into the store with me. But It is called the Cashmere Goat. Cashmere Goat.
Look at that cute little logo with the goat in the center.
Yeah, here's our card. And there's the, oops, that's really bright. We'll make it in there. We'll put a link to it because they're on Instagram and do they have a website? Yeah. Yes, they have a website. I haven't been to the website, but I've been to the shop, and so here we go. Cashmere Goat.
Oh, she kept the bag.
I did keep the bag. Make sure I had it all together.
Just so you know, that might look like a big bag, but that is not a big.
It's not a big
yarn bag.
It's not a big yarn, but not for me anyway. All right, so I got 2 projects.
We did have somebody comment, like, how do you start all these projects and start planning the next project before you finish one? It's called castonitis.
Oh, I have a constant case of it. I've got piles. This is one and this is one, and I put the yarn together, and I get to it all. I'm gonna get to it all. I tell her, but I can't die yet. I still have yarn. That's right. Can't go yet. All right, this is from Scout and Bean. She's got a great Instagram presence. She makes, it's, if you can't tell, it's like cotton rope, and she dyes it. This is some of her, I think she ice dyed this. Ooh. But and then this is a great heavy,
significant weight hook.
Oh yeah, it's a great hook. It's going to be really good. She makes the bowls where you do the cotton rope bowls. Yeah. And so it's all kinds of gorgeous colors. She ice dyes them or dyes them, and she makes the most gorgeous bowls. They didn't have any bowls. They were out of bowls, or didn't have any, but they had these, and I got one. She's in Maine. She's in, I'll tell you just one second. She's in Lincolnville. It's her address. She makes rope baskets and rope things. If you can see there, Scout and Bean, there's her label and her stuff. I follow her on Instagram, and it's made in Maine, so this is one of my Maine souvenirs. And then I'd already made my mind what I wanted. I wanted this. I saw this pattern called Shoreline by, just one second, I can't remember. Vanessa Coscarelli Black is who designed it. I follow her on Instagram, and she published. I dropped a yarn.
Hold up, she's gonna grab it
because it's part of this.
She needs it. It's important.
It's part of this thing.
This story.
All right, so here's Shoreline, the shawl. Now hers is all in one color. It's in different bases, and what she did was she designed this shawl. I'm gonna show you the picture of her design. Yep, there it is. Okay. All right, so the little low triangle over here on the side is in a slub yarn, you know, and she said that reminded her of the coastline, of shells laying on the beach. So I was determined I was going to do a shawl that had something that reminded me of the coastline of Maine, the sky and the water, and that triangle there, and then this section over here, if you can see what it says striped. Yarn A and B striped. So what she designed it with was a slub and a smooth fingering of the same colorway. Mm-hmm. And so they each have their own section and then striped over here on this end section. So I decided I was going to branch out from all one color.
Michele never knits a pattern the way it's intended.
No, I have a problem with it. Except Stephen West.
Oh yeah, we can't. We have talked about it. You cannot change Stephen West.
Okay, so on the round is a yarn dyer from Maine. She's there in the Casco Rockland area, and Maine dyer. And sometimes she has her shop open, but I don't think it is right now. It's okay. I wasn't going to get to go because husband only said one. I could only stop one place. And I have some of her yarn that I've ordered online from her before, but I wanted to get a Maine yarn and make a Maine themed shawl. Mm-hmm. So this is Wanderer. How appropriate is that? This is my coastline. This is what beaches in Maine are not your Florida white beaches or Myrtle Beach white beaches. They're rocky and sandy and shells and everything else and seaweed, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful shore. So this is going to be the triangle section that she did her slub in. Obviously it doesn't have a slub to it, but I'm going to use a knot stitch and make little bumps in it, you know, so I'm making my own slub look, but with this yarn. All right, so that's that little triangle. That's the shoreline. Then this is the water and sky. It's going to be the big triangle above that section. This is a special colorway that she dyed only for Cashmere Goat. It's called Christmas by the Sea, and it's exclusive to their shop, so I had to work that in. But you can see how it reflects some of the browns, and I just love blue and brown together. So that's those two triangles. Then the stripe section, instead of striping the two of them, we stayed, when we stayed in Maine, in a brown cabin in the woods.
Look at that.
These are going to be the stripe portion that, all right, turn those sideways the other way. All right, so this is down. That's going to be the top of it, and then these are going to run striped going this way.
That'll look so cute.
So it's my cabin in the woods on the shore.
Isn't it great? Look at what she came up with.
It's all on the, and these colors, I forgot. This
Yeah.
is chocolate. You can see all the tonalness of that. And this is diadem. The greens. And oh, it was such a pretty place. It really was. So that's my new project. I mean, for them. And I meant to pull this picture up earlier.
Oh, for the next one.
No, to show you what the cabin looked like in the woods.
Oh, yeah.
Somewhere. Where's the pictures of our cabin? There it is.
There it is. Oh, yeah.
Okay. There's our little brown cabin in the woods. And my husband's legs. There was a sitting area out in front of it. That's where we stayed for 4 days. So you can see cabin in the woods. And it was right on the water. So right behind the cabin, deep drop right to the beach area. So that was really cool. Oh,
See?
And then while I was in Cashmere Goat, they had a sample on display of Etta. It's called Etta by Allison Green. It's a Barocco pattern, I think, but Etta. And there you can see the detail on it. It's got a little bit of lacy eyelet detail on top. It's made out of Summer Sesame by Barocco.
Guys, this is like, it's fun. It's, what do they call that?
It's marled,
yeah.
speckled, tweedy. It's got it all.
It
I mean,
really does.
everything's in it.
You can see it, like it's everything in
And
there.
it's cotton acrylic. It's a cotton acrylic. So
Like a great t-shirt for the South.
Yeah. So you can see it's got tweed, it's got marl, it's got color changes. It'd
Super
be wild.
fun. Yeah.
It'll be fun. It'll
It
go
looks
quick.
good. That's the exact colorway knit up, right?
No, that's the blue one. That's a blue.
Oh, I thought you said you had pulled the exact color.
I didn't have there may be one in here that
That's all
shows it, but you might be able to see that. There's the stitch pattern better.
Oh yeah, that's a good
That's a good
picture of
picture to
stitches.
stitch. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to do it in that someday.
I like it.
Someday.
We're singing now.
We're singing now. I sing all the time. Not well. My middle child's first full sentence was, "Mama, no more singing." So, yeah, know how well I sing. When a 2-year-old, 1.5-year-old, whatever he was, asks you to not sing anymore, you know it's bad.
All right, we still have a few things we want to go over, so we're gonna keep
This is Stash.
Stash. Yeah, she went a little bit stash diving. We've actually talked about all of this yarn on the show, except for the second thing she's going to talk about. I think whichever one you want to talk about.
Do you have anything?
I've got nothing else. I was kind of a good kid and didn't spend too much money, and I'm not casting on any new projects. I'm going to try to finish something.
Okay, this is part of the cast on itis part. Okay, new sweater pattern came out. I just saw it. I think it was new. It's called I can't remember the name. Caledon. The Caledon pullover by Tammy Gore. It came out in cooperation with Madeline Tosh.
I think it's recent because I think
it's pretty recent. Yeah. I don't know. Right. That's it done in the Madeline Tosh colors. It's called Golden Hour, the main color, by Madeline Tosh, and that's the original design and pattern. And you can see Caledon by Tammy Gore. You can read that in there across.
And it is linked below in the show notes.
Yeah, we'll put it in the show notes. So I was looking at it just because I love a round neck. I mean, a round yoke, color work. I'm always up for one of those, and found this one, and fell smack dab in love with that sweater. Now, Can you tell?
It's hard to see, but it's actually made with Primrose homespun. Is it homespun or homestead?
I don't know.
It is their version of the
spin cycle thing,
cycle.
where it has a color changing in one and marled looking, and it's called Homestead Sport. You're right, Primrose Homestead Sport. And then the main color is a shelter. It's a Brooklyn tweed shelter. It's a DK weight sweater. So when I saw that, I'm like, oh, I do like that combo. And I'd gotten these 3 skeins of Sport, Kim Dye's Yarn Sport.
At a local, another
local, well, almost local, and over in Seneca that we went to. And we talked about a couple episodes again. What's the name of it? Roses and Rose?
Rose and Roses.
Rose and Roses. Mm-hmm. Rose and Rose.
No, Rose and Roses. Like.
Oh, ROWS and ROSES.
I'm pretty sure.
There we go.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
She's linked below too.
Yeah, she'll be linked below too. Anyway, so I have this. It's a heavy sport weight. Mm-hmm. It's almost a DK.
Is this mushroom something?
I don't. What was it called? Yeah, mushroom bisque.
Mushroom bisque. That was it.
Mushroom bisque. Yeah, mushroom bisque. So there's that. And I have that 1 skein of Yarn Hero DK.
We talked about
before that. This was the one I decided to not use in my Easy V, which is getting ready to get started, by the way. I have to skein it all up. I mean, ball it all up. But I have this, and I thought, ooh.
Yeah, it's a good contrast.
Ooh.
There's a little bit of yellow in the mushroom bisque that comes out in this
and there's
yarn.
Little bits of
bluish,
greeny, gray going on there.
It's going to be really pretty.
I thought that would work.
I think it'll work. I think it looks good.
It'll pop really well against that, and then that'll give me and I'll just alternate skeins.
Yep. I'll do if you're new to knitting and hand-dyed yarns, that's something that
to avoid the pooling where you get these big blobs of color.
Right, because yarn is not necessarily all dyed at the same exact time, and even if they are, you might have a slight difference in color variation and that kind of thing. So you always
temperature was a little different in that corner or whatever it is. Hand dyed's more susceptible, but machine dyed does have it.
It can
even within a same dye lot, you can get a variation, but so you just have to watch it.
So essentially, you alternate in the round. You do one and then the other. If you're doing
flat knitting, you just do it every other row.
So you do 2 rows and 2 rows and
2 rows back and forth.
It helps with the
color distribution. Yep. And I'll just do that in the body. But I thought that really worked.
I think it will. I think it's pretty.
I thought that worked. So I will swatch it and see. Yes, I will swatch.
She's gonna swatch.
I'm gonna swatch.
I won't lie. I've only swatched like twice in my life. I know you're supposed to. I do. I get it. But
when it's I don't really anymore when it's the yarns
that you've knit
I've worked with before, and I know what I get on them and what I like the fabric to look like. I really usually only swatch when I'm trying to yarn that's a different weight.
Yeah.
Where I'm trying to make a sport work for a DK pattern, or I'm trying to work a DK into a worsted pattern, and I'm trying to get to a gauge I like, and then I've got to do all the math. Math does not bother me at all.
I like math.
I will recalculate a size and stitch count in a skinny minute. I know a lot of people are afraid about that, but
Knitting Genius will do it for you.
It will.
So I haven't used the function, but if you're not a math brain, we've talked about Knitting Genius before. It's an app you can get on your phone. We love it.
Yes,
we pay the premium subscription of $8 a year. But it does have the gauge calculator in it, and you put in the information from your swatch, and it'll change it up or tell you what to do. It's great.
I don't use that.
No, but
because I like the math part. It's fun to play with numbers.
We're math people. And we
people.
Enjoy figuring that out. But if you're not, there are resources out there. So yeah, check it out for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there is. There's always somebody who'll help too.
Oh yeah. Find a friend.
Okay, find a friend. All right. The other project that popped into my head this week. Okay. Again. Here we go with the nerdy thing. I grew up on Star Trek. Well before I got into Star Wars. Well, of course, I was 14 when Star Wars came out, and I'd already been hooked on Star Trek. I grew up on it. I love Star Trek, and one of my favorite characters has always been Lieutenant Uhura. Mm-hmm. Never mind, it was groundbreaking that there was an African-American woman on evening TV. That was a huge deal back in the day. And she broke ground in a lot of ways, and she was so pretty and so good, and I just loved her through all the Star Trek, everything, all the movies, and for the main cast, the original group. That's my favorite. I've seen a lot of the newer stuff, but that's still my love is the original group. Although I do love Chris Pine playing a young Jim Kirk. I got to say that was really good casting. I mean, he really is good on that. So anyway, all that being said, Vanessa Smith published this pattern earlier this year called Farpoint. It's Star Trek influenced. And there's fields of stars and all that good stuff, and the uniform stripes. You can see those dots right there. They're baubles. That indicates captain's rank because there's 4 baubles. But it's in the gray and the black, and then red for communication officer. Red was for communications. And engineering. It changes over the years. But anyway, I want to honor Nichelle Nichols, who played Uhura. She died this week, and this past week. And it hit me harder than I thought it would. You know, sometimes when you lose, you're like, oh, like Vin Scully died. And he, a sports announcer, you won't.
I don't know.
Okay, you and I. But, I mean, people that were part of your growing up and your formative years, even if you never met them or had anything to do with them except what you saw on their television or heard on the radio, it hits you. Because, I mean, it's a change, right? So I got the idea that I'm going to make a Farpoint shawl for Uhura, Lieutenant Uhura. So, wait. I found that pattern. Or I'd already had that pattern in mind. I knew about that pattern. And so I would go looking up pictures of her in her different uniforms. Now that's her way back in the original series. But in the later years, in the movies, here's a better lighting picture. Let me go. Okay. Here we go.
It's not going to stay blown up.
Yes, it is.
Oh, look at you.
I made it work. All right, so this is her in one of the movies that they did after the series went off. And I loved her in those movies. She was, oh God, when she did the fan dance with the feathers, I came unglued. I loved it so much. In this uniform. So you can see it's a light gray and black trim on this dark red. Okay, well, here's my problem. I don't wear red. I don't. NC State is red. I wore red when I was at college, but I just don't do red. I don't.
There's always a color that somebody
I just don't like it on me. I don't. I love the color, but I don't like it on me. So I'm trying to think of, and that looks dark. You know, it's a dark red, a brick red. In some of the series, I mean, movies and stuff, it was almost a burgundy color. It looked like a burgundy, more burgundy. So, stash dive. I found my gray and my black. I may switch the gray out. I've got a little bit bluer, darker gray. I may go with it because the picture's got a little bit bluer. So I may change. I'll probably change the light gray to something a little bit bluer. So I'm going to have a gray and a black.
And then a little pop of red.
And then red, which is a dark red, burgundy kind of mix. But I'll wear this color. I won't wear a bright red. And I think that'll make a pretty shawl.
It will. It'll look really nice.
I think that'll make a pretty shawl. I'm going to change the gray to a lighter gray that I don't have an example of right now. But I'm going to make a Farpoint just to honor my Star Trek connection and background. I'll quit now.
It's okay to nerd out. It's what we do here. I
nerd out. Totally.
Oh, she got a new bag, too.
I got a new leather bag to put my notions in to make it easier to travel while I was on my trip. It is a men's shaving kit that I got at TJ Maxx or Marshall's, one of those places. So it's a male bag. It's got the 2 zippers on the outside that I can keep, like I keep my scissors and my tape measure and my ruler thingy from Knit Picks that I got 100 years ago that I use every stinking day. It's got a needle sizer as well as a ruler on it and a little magnifying thing. I use that every day, nonstop.
It's a good one.
Constantly.
I don't even know if they have them anymore.
I don't know.
They probably do.
I have 2 of them, just in case. So it's got the zippers on both sides and the outside, and then 2 zippers.
So you can open it.
So you can open.
All the way.
Now this stays attached. I use it as a handle half the time because I don't bother to zip it closed. But you can see it holds
a good amount of stuff.
A lot of stuff, and there's room for more.
There's still more room. Yeah,
There's still more room. I got plenty of room. So that worked really well on my trip because I could put it right beside me in my car seat and work out of it, and it, even if it fell, it didn't spill. So
I don't know if it's a Southern thing or not, but when I was growing up, we always called these ditty bags.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea where the term came from, but that's what we
when I was looking it up and researching, they call them, there's another word for it. Starts with a D. I can't remember. We called it a toilet kit, a toiletry bag.
Yeah, toiletry bag.
Toiletry bag.
A common one.
But that's what it is a men's travel bag for their shaving kit. Daddy calls his a shaving kit all the time because that's pretty much all he puts in it. But it's soft and it's leather. It smells good. And
we love a good leather.
We like a good leather. And so that's my new
bag.
Notions bag. One of these days we'll talk about what we carry in our Notion bags.
Yeah, we should do a little episode.
That would be a whole episode right there.
Yeah. One of these weeks when we don't have any acquisitions.
So far that hadn't happened, but I'm supposed to be on a yarn diet. So.
I need to be on one too, so we need to do it together.
But I'm getting ready to have a whole bunch of time for knitting.
Yeah.
I'm having a hip replacement in September.
Yeah.
Just found out yesterday that's what has to happen. So I'm going to be
out for the count.
Out for a while. We can still podcast.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So that brings up we're actually planning to go to a few local events.
That's right.
So the first one, Button Jar
Studios told us about.
Contacted us, and
Julie said, "Are you going to go?" And
I really didn't know what was happening.
I didn't either.
So it's the
Southern
Comfort's Fiber Market in Charlotte, North Carolina, and it is August 12th and 13th of 2022. In case you're watching this at a different time, and so it's Charlotte is like what 2 hours from us.
It's 2 hours,
and she specifically asked us, and I know this one over here is geeking out just a little. Like we're excited to meet other people in this community, so we are very excited about this. Invitation extension to go to this. So we're going to be there. I'm going to try to make us some shirts that have I wonder if I can get Earl and Rhonda on there or something. Like we'll figure something out.
We want something that we have t-shirts that represents our Knitistry Nerds.
Yeah. So if you see us with our shirts on and you want to take a picture, come on, let's go. You can come geek out near us. It's all good.
We like geeks. We like nerds.
We'll talk about all the nerdy things with you, whatever you want.
We'll open our bags and we'll all share what we got.
Yes.
I'm so excited. This is next weekend for us. Not the coming weekend, but the weekend after. This is Thursday, by the way, August 4th. August 4th, because yesterday was our doctor's office.
So we're going to be at that. We had planned on the next one, and we're not sure if Michelle's going to get to go because it's right around the time of her surgery.
Yeah.
So Charlotte is having a Charlotte area yarn crawl, September 17th through the 24th, and that's pretty much 3 or 4 days after her surgery.
My surgery.
So unless something miraculous happens, then she can get up by the 24th. It will probably just be me if I go at all. Sometimes it's kind of all right. I'll just say it. I'm a nerd. I am socially awkward. I've always been that way. And I know it sounds so stupid here, I'm being outgoing, but there's nobody here for me to see and have to deal with. I always like the joke that you've met an extroverted nerd or scientist when they look at your shoes when they're talking to you.
That is so perfect.
Isn't it great? So I really do. I get very uncomfortable when I'm alone. See? She knows, though, it's true. If you meet
I don't qualify. I'm not normal.
She's a weird nerd.
I'm a weird nerd.
But yeah, it really is difficult for me to be, and I have the whole touching thing, and
she doesn't hug. Don't hug her.
Don't
hug her.
I deal with it. I had a kid my first year teaching come up and hug me from behind, and I just kind of
freaked out.
I froze.
She freaked out.
I didn't know what to do. But
it's so funny.
I struggle in those situations, which you would think that I wouldn't be a teacher up speaking to people, but
but there's a distance.
There's a distance. It's different. I'm helping people learn, and I love to learn and help people learn. So it's a little different.
She's really great with kids. Don't let her fool you. She is fabulous with people when she's in the classroom, and she's dealing with kids in the halls and all that kind of stuff. She is fabulous with all of that stuff. It's when strangers approach her that she has trouble with. But that's not. It's not with her kids.
No,
it's not
at the end of the day too. I'm done with people.
Yeah, she's had enough people.
I mean, I need to go home and I recharge alone, or my husband sits on the other side of the couch, and that's the most contact we have after a long.
The dogs get to touch her, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it. It's just, I've always been that way. So I'll try to convince myself to go if Michele can't, but maybe you'll see us there. And the last one, actually, it's the last two. In the Asheville, North Carolina area. They've done this for years. I have no idea how long they've been doing it.
Oh, God. I first heard about it in the 90s.
Okay, so it's been around.
In the mid-90s.
So it's SAF, the
Southeastern Animal Fiber Fair.
And it's in Asheville, North Carolina. It's always at the fair. Is it the fairgrounds?
It's at the fairgrounds, Western North Carolina Agricultural Center and Fairgrounds. It's exit 7 or 9. I can't remember which one.
One of those two odd numbers there.
It's on right off of I-26 as you're getting into Asheville. You don't have to actually go into the city of Asheville. It's on the southern side.
Right. So that was actually
it's
very
huge,
first.
By the way. It's
gotten
ginormous. Huge.
You can see they have an animal show as well. So they've got the goats and the sheep
and the llamas and alpacas.
So it's almost all the types of fiber you can create. It's fun, and you get to see so many different things. That's actually the first fiber show I think I ever went to was SAF. So
it's the only one we had in the South for a long time. A long time. It was the only regular one we had.
Yeah.
Still is the only regular one we have. I mean, big one.
Yeah.
Big one.
So that is happening October 22nd and 23rd. Now, if you don't know, in science or in chemistry, there is a number. It's called Avogadro's number. And essentially what it is the number of anything inside 1 mole. So it's 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd whatever equals a mole.
Like if somebody says a dozen, it means 12.
Right.
If somebody says a mole, it means 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd.
Right.
602 sextillion.
Sextillion, yes. So it's
Sorry.
a big, no, that's what I was going to do. It sounds like
that teacher thing happens all the time.
Something about if you were born with that much money and you spent, I think it was like $1 million every second, you would never, was it $1 million?
Yeah, well, you could give everybody on Earth alive right now $1 million and still not run out of money.
Right. So it's a big number. So it's big in the science community. It's kind of like pi is big in the math community. We use pi, but math is they
have ownership.
We let them use it. We borrow it. They have it. So
we own the mole.
We own the mole, and they own pi. Oh, that's kind of sad. We don't get pie.
We don't get pie.
But so Pi Day
moles
is 3.14, which is March 14th, right?
Yeah, March 14th.
That's Pi Day. So there's actually a Mole Day, which is 10 to the 23rd.
It's from 6:02 in the morning to 6:02 in the evening on the 23rd.
On October 23rd. So SAF is actually happening
that weekend
on Mole Day. We are super excited.
We're going to geek out. We're going to nerd out
all the Knitistry nerd things.
That's right.
I think we might make a little mole knitting. Oh my gosh, that would be so much fun. I just thought of that.
There's a knitted mole pattern.
There is.
I have it. I own it somewhere.
We should make some.
Okay, we're gonna make moles.
We're gonna do something.
We gotta do something for Mole Day.
We're going.
We're gonna have mole hats. We're gonna make mole hats.
Oh my gosh, it'll be so much fun.
I'll be walking again by then, so
she'll be good.
I'll be hopefully speeding around everywhere.
Yes. So we're gonna try to go. That's the 23rd, but that same weekend, we've talked about Black Mountain
Yarn Shop
a couple of times. They do an indie extravaganza. Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
And so it is actually October 21st through the 22nd, and that's in Black Mountain, North Carolina. So we're going to make a whole weekend about, we're going to go to Black Mountain.
And then SAF.
So
we're going to make it work.
We're going to make it happen.
It's not that far. We can get to Asheville in 2 hours.
Black Mountain is like 30 minutes from Asheville,
on this side too.
So we're all good there.
Yeah.
But we're excited. So if you see us at these things, we'll keep mentioning them as the episodes go.
Yeah, we will. We'll talk about them.
Come up to us, talk to us.
Please.
Please don't be offended.
I'm an extrovert.
Yeah. Don't be offended if I don't look you in the eye.
She'll talk to your shoes.
I will talk to your shoe.
She'll talk to your yarn is what she'll do. She'll talk to your yarn.
And I do well. I prepare myself for those.
She does. She just has to disconnect after a while. She has to have a downtime, and that's typical for especially what we call your extroverted introverts, where you're basically an introvert, but you have the skills to interact with people regularly, but you have to have that disconnect period. My oldest child, my daughter, is an extroverted introvert, and that's just part of who she is and part of who Caytee is. You just have to allow for that.
Yeah, and I know my limits, and I know, I don't have meltdowns anymore.
There you go. We know when they're coming. I, on the other hand, I'm on 100% of the time and I talk to a wall if it doesn't move fast enough. Let me just say.
She would, yeah. All right, we had 2 more things to talk about. First of all, Long Dog Yarn.
Oh, she's so cute.
She's adorable. You've got to go watch her reel. I know it's out there. She is dancing and dyeing yarn to David Bowie, one of his songs in the Labyrinth. So I'm going to go ahead and shock the world here.
Oh, please don't tell everybody.
I'm going to tell all 136 subscribers we have right now. Michele has never seen the Labyrinth with David Bowie.
Look, I'm the wrong age. It came out.
It doesn't matter. It's such a good movie.
I had not seen it. But you haven't seen Last Unicorn?
I have not seen Last Unicorn. I didn't even know it existed. So she's doing a Labyrinth set, and she's doing The Last Unicorn. So it's nerdy for both of us because she loves The Last Unicorn.
I do.
Is that The Last Unicorn?
This is
The Labyrinth. So this is the Labyrinth. So the colors are beautiful.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
I'm going to have to buy a mini, so we'll at least have new yarn for next episode here.
Yeah, there's the Labyrinth collection. So and this does not show up.
No, it's...
This one color. Okay, I know she's got some pictures of it. Let me go back. Just this color. Look at this. It. I mean, that is just...
What is the name of that one?
Remind me of the Babe.
What Babe? Babe with the power. Oh, that's...
And then that's not fair. Is that it?
That's not fair.
That darker tonal is called That's Not Fair. For those of you who've seen The Labyrinth,
you know the thing
that means something.
She's like, he turns the clock, takes away her time, and then, was it Power of the Babe? What Babe?
Yeah.
Power of Voodoo. Hoodoo, you do.
I haven't seen it yet. I will. This is I Move the Stars for No One. I don't know what it means, but I love that line.
But David Bowie says it to her.
Okay, well, okay.
I just don't like...
love that color. Love that color.
If you're
those two together, I can't... Okay, you can kind of see. Yeah. Look at those two together. That's got me all over it.
If you're also a Harry Potter nerd, which I do love the Harry Potter series, we both have enjoyed it. That actually, it connects in a way, and maybe I'm the only one who makes this connection, but she calls Hoggle Hogwart at the very beginning when she meets him. Look at her dancing. This is one of David Bowie's songs. And
she's dancing to the... She's adorable.
Go watch the whole reel. Like, you need to watch it. It's really so cute.
Funny.
At the end, her husband catches her, and she makes this most adorable face. Like, it's so great. But this goes, I think it's I can't remember. No, it's August. Is it the 6th? Today's the 4th, 5th. I think it's August the 6th that it's coming out.
Yes, I think so.
So she, set your clocks. I'm going to try to get this out before August the 6th so you can see it. Yeah.
This is
6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Lady Almathea. It's in The Last Unicorn. Look at that.
I have to go watch that. By the way, she also hasn't seen Hocus Pocus, apparently.
Okay, I understand. My children have all informed me, especially my daughter, and this one. I have to watch Hocus Pocus.
Okay. Have you watched Dark Crystal?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Come on,
yeah.
that's...
No, Dark Crystal was right up my alley.
But it's the...
There's the last of the Red Hot Swami. I'm sorry. I'm sitting here going through these yarns, just giggling, remembering the movie. My daughter loves The Last Unicorn. We wore out 2 VCR tapes of The Last Unicorn when she was younger. I mean, just wore them out.
Super excited about this new yarn coming out. We're about to spend a ton of money.
Yeah, I'm totally going to get some Last Unicorn.
And it's Long Dog, okay. Which is, to me that's dachshunds. So, yeah. And I have 3 of them, so it's kind of a nice connection.
And I've had 2 in the past.
They're so cute.
August 6th at 4 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 6 p.m. our time.
Eastern Standard Time, yes.
Eastern Time.
So I've already actually set it in my phone as an alarm.
I'm getting ready to, so it's all right.
So I don't know if there are pre-orders or what, but I'm super excited. Look at that.
That's Lady Almathea.
Lady Almathea. Oh,
see, these are scenes from the movie. Okay, I can't help myself. I just can't help myself.
So we're excited. But lots of nerdy things coming out from
We're nerdy. Long dog yarn.
It's a tongue twister.
Long dog. Think of dachshunds.
Dachshunds, yeah. Dachshunds yarn. But so we're excited about that.
We are.
Very pumped for her.
That's
for her
gonna be
stuff
fun.
to come back out. And the only other thing we have talked every time.
We had this big list.
We did. We always have a list. Or what now we do. Remember, teachers, planners, we make it happen.
Do it all the time.
We talk a few times about the fact that there are not very many podcasts in the Southeast.
Oh, yeah.
And so, we enjoy doing this, but we actually found another Southeastern podcaster.
And she found us.
Knitting podcaster. She actually found us and said, hey, from your neighbor. She's in North Carolina. And she's a single podcaster, but she does a really great job. So it's Southern Comforts Yarn? Southern Comfort Knits.
Southern Comforts Knits.
It doesn't like knit.
Podcast. There it is. I found it.
And her name is Lori. Lori? Is that what I said?
Yeah, I think so.
That's her newest episode. Was super cute. She's wearing her rocket tee.
Oh, cool. Okay, so here's
Lori.
Southern Comfort Knits. There she is right there. I'm subscribing right now, so I'll find her again.
Are like 30 minutes longish. So, when there's two people here, we get off on tangents a lot. So she is...
no, you'd talk this long without me.
Yeah.
Probably. We know I would, but you would too. Talking about yarn, we're going to talk all day.
But
she's cute as can be.
I watched her latest episode 7. She talks about all her yarn. She got some Knit Picks yarn in. She got a ton of Knit Picks yarn. If you need to see what the palette yarns look like, go watch the episode. But she also does at the end of this episode, and I'm not... She said, hey. Lori says, hey, everybody.
Lori said, hey.
I don't know if she does it every time, but at the end of the most recent episode, she did book talk and talked about some books that she's read and her rating on them.
Yeah.
So I like that. I found a couple books that she mentioned that I was like, oh, I'm going to go read that now. So I know
she gave a couple to me.
I was like, hey,
recommendations.
Michele, check it out.
Something about psychological warfare.
It was
psychological.
Was it warfare?
No, I just made that up.
I wrote it down.
I put that in there because they're always sending me stuff about maiming and killing and murder, mayhem, because I teach forensics.
The Psychopath Whisperer.
Psychopath Whisperer. It was a W.
It was a
Psycho W.
Mm-hmm. She did.
Word association.
But go check her out. Watch her episode. Subscribe if you feel inclined. I really did enjoy watching her stuff, and we watched The Grocery Girls and.
Yes, I watched, we both watched the newest episode. I watched Needles at the Ready. I got caught up with them because I got behind when traveling for 10 days. I got behind.
Oh, we're going to share this reel, so go check our Instagram. It'll be under reels in our highlights history, so you can actually see this. This is a knitting reel. This is Michele teaching knitting for sure.
Okay, I'm trying to turn off the volume. It's teaching the knitting stitch. I mean, years and years and years and years ago, it was something about jumping off the fence.
Oh, yeah.
Johnny it was through the door and off the fence and all. I never could remember it that way. That didn't work for me.
Yes, but this is for the forensic
teacher. This one is stab it, choke it, rip out its guts, throw it off a cliff.
Guys.
It's so funny.
And of course, our friends send us these things.
Send this too. I'm never teaching knitting any other way but this.
No, it's going to be stab it, choke it, rip it out its guts,
throw it off the cliff.
It's perfect.
It's so funny. So next time you're making a knit stitch, think about it.
Think about it.
You stab it, you choke it, you rip out its guts, and you throw it off the cliff.
I'm sorry. Knitting has never been so violent.
It's so funny. It's so funny, especially when you think about science and forensic teacher and
man. So we enjoyed that. Or
hysterical. I'm sorry. That's just funny.
And so this is some of the fun that we have as a group with our friends. You see something fun like this, share it with us. We want to see these things. We obviously enjoy laughing.
Obviously like this stuff.
Totally. But yeah, so that's there. We've talked. I think that's my list. I was checking. We probably need to wrap up hour and 30.
That's about what we normally
do. Yeah. So
we normally do.
But this has been one of the funnest episodes in my opinion.
Yeah, I've
enjoyed this one.
We had some funny things to talk about.
Yeah,
we're making progress. I know we didn't have any FOs today, but we will next time. There'll be some FOs next time.
I'm gonna go ahead and admit, I'm about to start grad school in this month, and I'm starting AP Chemistry, so
Yeah.
I will try to do as much knitting during my kids doing things in class, but that doesn't always happen.
Yeah, some days you do and some days you don't.
And I'm sure I'm doing online classes, so I'm going to have to watch videos and do things like that. And I'm going to do the best I can, but I'm not going to make any promises.
No, your productivity is going to, in terms of knitting, is going to slow down. But
it already. Obviously, it already has. It slowed down just because I was doing AP Chemistry
all the classes.
Planning,
Yeah,
so it's.
Well, mine is going to be because
you'll be out.
I'm going to increase. Mine's going to speed up because I'm not going to have anything to do except knit during my recovery period and get up and walk and get stronger.
Don't get bored and eat.
No,
that's the hardest part about that.
Okay, y'all don't know this. You can't tell, but I've lost 15 pounds this summer,
good.
And trying to avoid diabetes, and now trying to get weight off for my new hip. So I'm not real excited about this. Actually, I'm excited to be pain free. I'm excited to get rid of the pain, but
surgery is always one of those things. Where it's scary, and you're all the things.
The only surgeries I've had arthroscopic surgery on my knee, and then I've had 3 C-sections. So
you never had your wisdom teeth taken out?
Well, yeah, but it didn't feel like surgery.
Oh.
It was in the dentist office, and he hacked away and then sewed me up with silk thread. I'm old, remember? Right. This is way back. I didn't even have gas.
I don't think
I had just Novocaine, and he started cutting, and of course I could feel it all because Novocaine doesn't work on me. One of those things. But anyway, so I'm looking forward to getting rid of the grinding pain in my bone-on-bone hip. And knitting a lot. Yeah. I'll be knitting a lot.
So she'll have a lot to talk about knitting wise. I'll have a lot to talk about not knitting wise.
Not knitting wise.
We'll come in here. We'll probably talk about what's going on in school and those kind of
drop
things.
us you can put comments on our Instagram, DM us that way. You can put comments on our
YouTube channel,
episode. We have a Facebook. We
don't get a lot of traffic on the. I mean, we get a few every once in a while, but there's not a lot of activity. It's all coming straight from Instagram anyway.
Yeah,
but we do check it.
Reposting.
So if you want to say something, we have email. If you want to send us an email, it's knitistryknerds@gmail.com.
Let us know if you would like for us to get active on Ravelry. We started a group, but we haven't opened any threads or done anything like that on it. Because I have fallen out of practice. I don't go and check threads and comments. I don't do that. I use Ravelry as a pattern resource. Right. Now, I used to, when it first started, I was one of the, I was in the first 10,000.
Yeah, you were.
People, I was way back. But I don't do that anymore. I don't have time. Instagram's my knitting place.
Yeah. Well, and you can, I don't know, there's just so much more. Because not everybody uses Ravelry as well. So you can find all the patterns out there on Instagram for the most part.
That's where I use to stay up to date. So.
So we have the Ravelry group. Join it if you want. Let us know if you want to do something. We're probably going to talk about when we do the Hohi knit along. We'll put some threads on there so you guys can share what you did. Which, if you're doing it, you're probably sharing it with Hohi Locatelli, and you might not want to share it with us too. So, but if you'd like to join us, we would appreciate.
We are going to be doing that. We'll be talking about our progress and posting it pretty often because that's going to be
that'll be the only thing I knit during that time because everything else will be grad school and AP Chem. So that'll be my focus, whatever I decide to knit that time. So. Yeah,
I have this huge pile. Yeah, that's my focus. This big pile over here.
All right, guys, we're gonna sign off here. I think we've done enough.
We've done enough. We have done enough talking.
All right, so everybody, knit periodically.
Thanks for watching.